Hello again, guys. It's Mr. Schaefer coming at you. Today, I'm going to read you a little picture book that some of you are probably familiar with, um, and I hope you enjoy it. It is called Ivan, the remarkable true story of the shopping mall gorilla. So, perfect timing as we finished Ivan here. Um, we're going to look at the picture book version. Okay? So sit back and enjoy, and here we go. So here's where we start. And I'll show you the pictures, don't worry. This says right here, I'm going to read this little part inside the cover because it's actually pretty cool. It says, in spare, moving words and evocative illustrations, the Newbery medalist Catherine Applegate, that's who wrote our book, and artist Brian Karras present an extraordinary real account of a special gorilla. Captured as a baby, Ivan was brought to America and used to entice shoppers at the mall. Over many years, customers' curiosity about the gorilla turned into pity and to outrage about his treatment. And pressure built until a better way of life for this gentle creature was found. From the Congo to America, and from a local business attraction to the national symbol of animal welfare, Ivan, the shopping mall gorilla, traveled an astonishing distance in miles and in impact. This is his true story. So just like the video you watched after we got done reading, Ivan was a real gorilla, right? It was based on a real story. Now, him talking and planning all these escapes and painting these pictures and doing all this other stuff, again, the fictional part, the story part of it, but the actual story of him being, brought over here and sold to the mall and all that is real. Okay, that's real stuff. So let's see what this picture book has to offer. First of all, I just love this little... In leafy calm, in gentle arms, a gorilla's life began. So that's little baby Ivan. The baby was born in a tropical forest in Central Africa. He was part of a large family of western lowland gorillas. The troop included babies, juveniles, females, and a male leader, the silverback. So who do you think that is? Ivan's dad and mom. The more the baby gorilla grew, the more he played. The more he played, the more he learned. He rode on his mother's back. He listened to hoots and grunts and chest beats of his father. He watched the older gorillas, clever and quick, as they wrestled and chased and swung from vines. There's little Ivan watching, playing, swinging around. He did not learn about humans until too late. There's the helicopter or the plane coming in. Poachers with loud guns and cruel hands stole the little gorilla and another baby. That's very sad. After thousands of miles and endless days in black, damp crate, at last came light and fresh air. So they were trapped in this little damp, damp means like wet, kind of, it's not clean, black box, traveling over. Imagine how long that would take to get all the way from the Congo, all the way from the other side of the world, in a box, shipped over to America. The jungle, green with life, was gone. The gorillas had traveled halfway around the world to Tacoma, Washington. A man who owned a shopping mall had ordered and paid for them, just like a couple of pizzas, like a pair of shoes. There they are in the truck coming. There's the box. So this is out in Washington, guys. Seattle, up above California, West Coast. People cooed and laughed and held the babies. They dressed them up in human clothes. They fed them human food. The shopping mall owner ran a Name the Babies contest. The winning names were Burma and, you got it, Ivan. So that's how Ivan got his Ivan name. The store owner made a little competition, again, to get more people to come in, to get more people to buy stuff at the mall. He's using these gorillas to do that. One dark day, soon after the babies arrived in the strange new world, Burma died. Without her, Ivan was alone, with too much left to learn. Look at little Ivan there. All by himself now. While he was little, Ivan was cute and cuddly. For 3 years, he lived in a home like a human child. He slept in a bed and went to baseball games. He held babies and rode on a motorcycle. So there's the stuff we learned about in our book too, right? Him doing all kinds of human stuff. There he is on the bike. Yeah. He had to learn many things gorillas in the wild didn't ever need to know. The one thing Ivan didn't need to learn was how to eat. The more he ate, the more he grew. The more he grew, the less he could live a human life in a human house. Stealing donuts, watching TV. A cage in the mall became Ivan's new home. There wasn't much to do. Sometimes Ivan watched TV. Sometimes he played with an old tire. Sometimes he finger painted, signing the papers with his thumbprint. Mostly, he watched humans watching him. Ivan was about 13 when his coat began to shimmer with silvery white hairs. He'd grown into a silver-backed gorilla. In the jungle, he would have been ready to protect his family. But he had no family to protect. How big he is now. Year after year passed. People began to grow angry about Ivan's lonely life. Children and adults wrote letters and signed petitions and held protests. Ivan lived in his cage without the company of other gorillas for 27 years before he was sent on another journey. This time, the hands were gentle. You know where he's going, right? See, that's what this stuff's real, guys. This part is real. Okay, people did get upset. People did do that and protested, and that's how he got out. Zoo Atlanta wasn't a jungle. It was a place with walls. Still, the breeze carried jungle sounds and scents. Scientists who understood the needs of gorillas helped Ivan adjust slowly, carefully, gently to his new life. And there's the, when he made it to Zoo Atlanta, they kept him in there to kind of, before they just gave him, to the new, what's coming next. Finally, it was time. Was Ivan ready? Cameras clicked. Reporters watched. There he is, coming out. And we talked about that in the book. The first time touching grass in almost 30 years. When Ivan stepped into the cool green grass, the sunlight gleaming on his silver hair, people cheered and laughed and wept with joy. Ivan, the shopping mall gorilla, was in a place with trees and grass and other gorillas at last. He made it. He made it. There he is. In leafy calm and in gentle arms, a gorilla's life began again. So this is his new start to a new life. And I love this picture right here. That's the real picture of real Ivan there. The real Ivan, who this is based on. There he is. So that's the story, all kind of all jammed together, right, in a picture version. But that stuff in this book right here is true. Okay, this is what really the story was based on. Um, so it's pretty awesome. Now I do want to read this last part to you. It's pretty cool. It's got this about Ivan. You can see it's got real life pictures there. It also has another picture of Ivan right there. So I'm going to read that to you too. Okay. I'm going to kind of swing through a little bit. It says the facts of Ivan's early life are not well recorded, but as far as we know, Ivan was born in 1962 in the Congo. He was about 6 months old when he was caught by poachers and then traded illegally to America. It's unclear what happened to Ivan's family, but he was taken with another infant gorilla. So the two babies were shipped to the B&I Circus store in Tacoma, Washington. So that's what we called in our book the Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, right? So that's where they were shipped to. There was wild animals, including an elephant and a seal that was there. So no, that elephant wasn't Stella, but very similar to that, right? They advertised the babies, the gorillas they had, and they made a contest to name them. The winner won $500. Whoever won the name to name them. So they did. They named one Burma, and she died. And then Ivan survived. So Ivan was there all alone. It said he had a very human experience. His favorite food was fried chicken dinners. So it kind of goes through the rest of this. He grew too big to handle. Around age 5 is when he when he went into the cage at the mall, and he spent 27 years there. He did do finger painting, that was real, and often did watch television. For 27 years, he lived in this cage, and people became more aware of the needs and realized that they had to get him out. So in 1993 and in 1990, there was a documentary called The Urban Gorilla, and that's the video I posted a couple weeks ago. And then they had an article in the New York Times in 93 that talks about the gorilla sulking in his mall, basically looking how pitiful that Ivan looked. So his frustration grew. An 11-year-old girl in 5th grade, kind of reminds me of Julia, had a petition called Free Ivan, and she had 1,500 people sign it. So after they did that, the news got heard of it. The zoo got word of it. The news did more and more, and then they brought him to the zoo. So it really did happen. He really did get out. He did die in 2012, but he was 50 years old. So he got to spend about the last 20 years of his life, over 20 years, 25 years, actually in the zoo. But Ivan is remembered for his personality and his loving relationship, and always representing the need for animals to be treated with dignity and kindness. Treat them fairly. That's kind of a good theme for this book, right? And the final picture is this one on the back, and there's Ivan, literally from his cage there. Doesn't look quite as happy as he does in the other picture of him, picking leaves and being there. So I hope you enjoy this. And Ivan is a great character, a great gorilla that can teach us a lot of things. I hope you enjoyed it.